social media, that is TV, internet, Twitter, Facebook, and so many social media, their impact on us, the positive and the negative aspects. In what way is it helpful, in what way is it harmful, or is it at all good or bad, what is it? But first of all, we have to therefore understand as to what is the process or the neurodynamics of the functioning of brain vis-a-vis contact with reality and its management process. This methodology of managing reality interface by the brain is called as ego, in which I am a world authority as a reference point. Here we have, it will look like taking a class, but I can't help it because the topic is like this and it won't go home. So I had requested especially the organizers to arrange for Talk and Talk, the best audio visual aid available in the world, even on the date, in spite of all PowerPoint presentations which are already cut paste from somewhere. Here the concept evolves. So here we have reality on one hand. This is the reality, and this inside is me. Me means each one of us. Now, there are 5 input channels, the 5 sensory organs through which any change in the external environment can be registered by the brain. So any change outside, whether it is in light or sound or smell or touch or taste to tongue. So here 5 इंद्रियों से इनपुट होता है हमारे ब्रेन में. जब ये इंद्रियां काम करना बंद कर देती हैं तो उसको डेथ कहते हैं. इसलिए जीवित रहने का कारण हम लोग का सिर्फ बाहर से आते हुए चेंजेस का है. Any change coming from outside is called as external environment, which is society and its derivatives, that is the social aspect of reality of life. So here what we find is that at the moment we have what you call as a situation where, first of all, human beings are growing and developing slowly but surely, becoming more and more intelligent, more and more smart with the passage of time. They are becoming more flexible and adaptable to the vagaries of external circumstances, as also with the aid of engineers like yours, with the advance of technology, we are able to manage the environments in our favor, which is both harmful as well as useful. A lot of air conditioning, a lot of comfort, sleeping in Dunlop pillows, having shoes down there in your foot. In some way it is good, it is comforting. In the other way it is bad because it makes us into spooks who are too weak to face the reality of life, like an ordinary villager who is a very strong person because he lives out there in the rough and tough weather. He can walk with barefoot, so he is much more stronger. And that is where 80% of our country lies, in the villages. People are strong out there. Our children are suffering from obesity, premature hypertension at the age of 30, 35. People are having heart attacks around 40. People are developing computer cataracts at the age of 29, 28. मोतियाबिंद जाता है लोगों को. All these are aspects of external phenomena. Now the war, as far as the war is concerned, we find that actual battle or man-made war, जो लड़ाई होती थी पुराने जमाने में, वो होती थी बंदूक से होती थी, पहले लाठी से होती थी, फिर बीच में बम चलने लगे, मिसाइल चलने लगे और एटम बम हो गया. उसके बाद में फिर तरह तरह के नापाक बम आ गया. ये लड़ाइयाँ जो हैं अब इस वक्त मैनकाइंड के पास इतनी सामग्री है कि एक भी कंट्रोल को हटाया जाए, इतना डेलिकेट बैलेंस है कि जरा सा गड़बड़ी हो जाए तो सबका सर्वनाश निश्चित है विदिन अ सेकंड। मैनकाइंड कैन बी रेज्ड विदिन सेकंड, देयर इज इनफ मटेरियल फॉर दैट, एंड everybody is intelligent and they know that this is not going to happen because we are not still suicidal in nature. We don't want to die, in spite of knowing the fact that everybody is going to die one day for sure. The time is not known, but the fact remains. So here, this physical warfare is not going to take place. On the contrary, it has been replaced by warfare through social media, or what you call as virtual warfare. This virtual warfare is waged through TV, through internet, through media, through speeches. This is also a media communication. Fiery speeches like you see in elections nowadays going on, people doing various type of mudslinging, and some of them are so viciously charged that it sometimes makes us very uneasy. And this shows the great impact which we have on our body and brain when sometimes people speak a very harsh, maybe true, sometimes false, sometimes like balloon, sometimes skewed in their own favor. Like you heard today Modi talking about Farooq Abdullah and his daddy, and Mashi Watsa, they are talking about Modi, and so on and so forth. So these are all impacts of social media. Now what actually really does take place is to be understood, and is of great importance, especially for our kids, the future generations out sitting out there, these boys, small little girls, that in childhood the brain of a person is like a tabula rasa. Tabula rasa होता है, वो जो बार्क होता है ना, जिससे पुराने जमाने में पेपर जब नहीं निकला था कागज, तो लकड़ी के बाग को उसको पल बना करके उसमें शार्प सिल्ली किया जाता था, तो उसमें इंडेंटेशन बन जाते थे, गड्ढे पड़ जाते थे, उसको मिटाने के लिए आपको फिर भिगा करके दोबारा उसको कूट करके, वो क्या ताम्रपत्र बोलते हैं, क्या बोलते हैं, ताम्रपत्र, वो जो है उसको टेबुला रासा अंग्रेजी में बोलते हैं। तो ब्रेन जो होता है वो बचपने में एक टेबुला रासा की तरह होता है। जब बच्चा पैदा होता है, हम लोग सब लोग होते हैं, तो वो क्लीन स्लेट होता है, जस्ट लाइक ए क्लीन बोर्ड। ये इसमें जब वो हम लोग लिखते थे इसमें डेंट नहीं पड़ा, लेकिन अगर उसमें लिखते हैं तो वो गड्ढा पड़ जाता है। ये बनाया तो गड्ढा पड़ गया, ये बनाया तो ट्रायंगुलर गड्ढा पड़ गया, ये बनाया तो गोल गड्ढा पड़ गया। इस तरीके से उसमें इंडेंटेशंस होते हैं। These indentations are a function of input from the external environment, which is called as social media. Anything which can impact our brain from external environment is a social impact on the programming of the brain. That is a package which you are putting in the computer, luckily or unluckily. But the fact remains that on an average, everybody sitting here is equally, more or less equally intelligent. All of us are not, nobody, very rare, say 5%, less than 2-3% are geniuses, and less than 4-5% are idiots, where the brain is not formed or it is overdeveloped due to some reason or the other because of genetic problems. But on an average, we are all average people. Yet you find that some of us are very successful and we move waves in this one life, and some of us die unsung, unheard, small, known, unknown creatures. Eat food, we make a house, produce children, and perish without contributing anything to the society. And that's what we are, like animals. Everybody does it. Like all the animals do the same thing. If we are doing the same thing, we are just like animals. But that's what many people do. In spite of having equal potential and power, that is the beauty. Now the difference lies only the programming or the package which you have put in the computer or the brain, which is determined by the external factors. And these factors are interpreted by brain, and that which is useful is retained, and that which is thought to be useless is eliminated. Incidentally, as a corollary, I would like to say that the intelligence of a person is measured by how fast he or she forgets nonsense. That means, the more intelligent a person is, the more hastily or more quickly he or she will forget nonsense and retain only what is useful for its own purposes. That's the beauty. It's not, intelligence is not measured by how much you can remember, but it is measured by how much and how fast you can forget the nonsense which is being poured into your system. Now here you find that whether it is internet, or it is TV, or it is radio, or it is a gathering party somewhere going on, the rave party, or a raw party, or a wedding party, there are different types of social phenomenologies which take place, and or gatherings like this, where people have some value addition and an attempt to develop bonhomie with each other, or belong to the same fraternity. So here we find that the impact of the environment is proportional to how it is interpreted and what data is retained in the brain. Now there is a huge amount of information of flood overload. Let us take, for example, TV. TV is one of the best audiovisual, most common, available audiovisual media available in our bedrooms, where if not properly managed, it can convert our bedrooms into brothels. If properly managed, it can convert our bedrooms into a safari. Sitting in your bedroom, at the tip of the button, you can have a visit to African safari free of cost. You can enjoy the ocean, in the interior of the ocean, by seeing National Geographic, by seeing the most latest advances in medical sciences or in technology, by putting on appropriate channels. It depends upon which channel is being operated, with what intention, and what is being fed in is determined by our own decision. However, it can be misused for aping the West. Now that is very important phenomenon. India, even today, with all its aberrations on the face of it, produces the maximum number of white-collar intelligentsia in the world. There is the highest, greatest demand for Indian people in the foreign countries, and the maximum occupancy of white-collar jobs, both in academia as well as in intellectual business activities. You find that the Indians occupy, amongst others like Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, or any other people from any other place in the world. Especially in the United States, people find that Indians are hardworking, good, intelligent, educated. I don't know whether you have read, but I did read that Barack Obama once said when he was about to come to power that I'd like to convert the American system of education again to India, because, or something like Chinese, because the American system of education, there is something wrong. They're not producing so intelligent, so diligent, so sharp people, and technically sound, who are very erudite in their endeavor and very honest in their efforts towards contributing to their job and profession. So here you find that our education system is based on our culture, which is being corroded, sometimes eroded, and attempt has been made successfully to some extent, being destroyed by the invasion in our bedrooms of the Western value systems, which our children are aping because of lack of parental support at home and because of lack of installation of appropriate systems to judge the right from the wrong, and that is called as ethics. There is a paucity of ethics and value system implantation, as a consequence of which the tabula rasa of the youth is being imprinted by the Western system of thinking, which is more archaic and more like animals as compared to ours, which is more like human beings, because we are emotionally rational, but at the bottom of it, we are animals. So we are rational animals, logically emotional animals, but we are not pure animals. But here we have three combinations in any case. In some of us there is more animal, in some of us there are more emotions, then some people have got more logic and reasoning. And you find that the American culture is based more on animality, where you see how they invade in our bedrooms. And there were times when the cabaret dances and nude dances were not done. They were not done thing. But now you find that the best of the best girls, they are ready to shut up their clothes because it's fashion. And don't we see that on the roads with jeans and low neck brows, where the incidence of rape and violence is rising. This is a symptom of regression of our society, moving from more Indian ethos towards more Western ethos. Nowhere in this world you have so many positive intergender interactions because of value system. We have got the daughter, we have got the bhabi, we have got the mausi, tai, chacha, tau. So many relationships are there. And sister is a place I don't know that sisters' Tihar is there like Raksha Bandhan. Your sister, if you are my friend, is my sister. That's how I can see. But there is no choice in the other cultures. So in any case, now the interpretation of the external factors depends upon your value system. And the value system depends upon what you think is appropriate or inappropriate. And the most appropriate value system will be that what is going to value add. Are we wasting time? Are we correcting garbage and jamming our read-on memory or random access memory because already the computer, the brain is full of garbage? Or we are keeping it reserved for limited data where the brain is in siesta, in a state of rest, where people absorb more and process information at a higher speed with greater accuracy, with more precision. So that's what is what I want to say all about. Now you are free to ask me questions and clarifications, but then both media has got a positive aspect, it has got a negative aspect as well. Depends upon your choice, which one you choose, and which one, in what passages of life, at an appropriate point of time, do you allow to your children and or youth or yourself to choose what. If I sit down and see blue films at this age, it is amazing. If I see spiritual maybe it may not be so inappropriate, but if I see that from the point of view escaping from the basic realities of life and the changes going on, then there is something wrong in my perception. Maybe the way I am interpreting, but that's it. Anyway, the time has run out, and I know that you are fed up listening to so much of what going on. Thank you for lending your ears, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, sir, for highlighting the merits and demerits of social media on our brain. We had a very little time. We know that you are full of knowledge only, and you can impart it, but we don't have time today, and next time we will be happy to have you with us on different some other topic also. अब मैं कार्यक्रम को आगे बढ़ाते हुए अपने ब्रांच चेयरमैन श्री आर डी महतो साहब से अनुरोध करूंगा कि हमारे बीच में कुछ नए मेंबर्स बने हैं। यह ब्रांच के लिए बहुत ही